Podcast is available on Apple and Spotify. Check out ESPN Milwaukee and WTMJ on social media for links. All right, what's the second thing we're tracking?
Well, we can all agree we live in a pretty awesome state, right? Today is one of those days we get to celebrate Wisconsin.
So admittedly, this is a day put together by the National Day Calendar. They're the people who put out, like, today is Apple Pie Day. So they say today's National Wisconsin Day. It's the 30th state to become a state. It happened on May 29th, 1848. Did you know that we're not named after the animal or after fur trading, but badgers are actually named after miners and mining?
Yeah, because of the going. You know what? I just read this, oddly enough, for going under into the caves and mining, and I think it's pretty cool, and we're unusual. We're unique.
Isn't that something for their burrowing?
Yeah.
So a couple things that are fun to point out today. Producer Sam printed out a list of some of these. The Wisconsin state bird is?
Oh, I forget.
The robin.
I was like cardinal. No, that's Illinois.
The Wisconsin state domestic animal?
Cow.
Yes. Wisconsin state dairy product?
Cheese?
For sure. Now it gets tougher. The Wisconsin state flower?
Daffodil?
Nope, it's purple.
Iris?
Oh, good guess. The wood violet.
Oh, but of course.
The Wisconsin state dog?
Water spaniel.
How do you know that?
Just because I love dogs, and one day I was like, how weird. I saw it somewhere, and I was like, how weird that we're the water spaniel. I mean, do you know people in Wisconsin have water spaniels? None. Zero.
No,
not whatever.
None. Only on social media I've ever seen one.
Right.
And the last one I wanted to ask you if you knew was the Wisconsin state pastry.
Oh, punchki?
Oh, that's a good guess.
Oh, Kringle.
Kringle! Ding,
Kringle!
ding, ding, ding. Yes, the O&H Danish Bakery Kringle is the best Kringle, but that is the Wisconsin state pastry.
I love it.
We could do this all afternoon. All right, what's the third thing that we're tracking today?
The inventor, speaking of pastries, the inventor of one of America's favorite breakfast treats has died.
That's right. It is William Bill Post, who's credited as the inventor of the Pop-Tart.
Most of us aren't old enough to remember a time when there weren't
Kellogg's Pop-Tarts.
The man credited by many for inventing Pop-Tarts, Bill Post, has died. He headed up the bakery production for Keebler back in 1964 when Kellogg's called looking for a quick breakfast item that was toastable.
Look at that sweet frosting and filling.
Well, his team came up with the idea of 2 sheets of dough with fruit filling in between. They tried perfecting it with some frosting, which didn't melt, and bingo, they had a winner. Bill Post from Grand Rapids, Michigan was 96. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Do you have a favorite flavor Pop-Tart?
Brown sugar and cinnamon.
Mine too.
Really?
Yeah, I wrote it right here. Brown sugar and cinnamon is mine.
And why do a lot of people say they like that strawberry business, but no way for me.
I don't like the fake strawberry or blueberry as much as the brown
Doesn't do
sugar
it
and
for me.
cinnamon.
Yep.
Cooked or uncooked?
Oh, I really prefer cooked.
Yeah, I like toasted better too.
But I would take it any way, shape, or form.
So I'm the oldest of 3, and in my family, being the oldest, I would break off the crust, that part of no frosting on them, and make my little brother eat that part, and I would eat the part with just the frosting.
Now I know why you're so domineering.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice. I've apologized to him several times. Jason, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
I was kidding, John. You're not. But you're a leader for sure. Yeah.
Let's lead into the next segment, which is an update on an important story. We now have new information on what happened at that parade in Kansas yesterday, and Alex Stone is with us live right after the break.
The largest industrial trade show in Wisconsin for engineers, facility managers, and building grounds and maintenance professionals is the PFMA Plant Engineering and Maintenance Expo. Free seminars, product and service demos, and the latest innovations all under one roof.
Skip the show day lines and go to pfmainc.com for fast and free pre-registration. The PFMA Expo, free with free parking. February 21st and 22nd at a new location, Washington County Fair Park in West Bend.
Hey, John Mercure here for Sidex. Sidex did the bathroom in my house. They transformed the bathroom. This is incredible. So we had an old conventional bathtub. It was fine, but we didn't use it anymore, and we wanted a walk-in shower. Sidex came to our house with samples, with examples. We picked colors. They sat down at the kitchen table with Michelle and me, and it was so easy. Then they came out, took out the old bathtub, put in the new shower with a beautiful glass door, did it all in a day. Piece of cake. Did it right the first time. It's Sidex. Best products, industry's best installers. It is Sidex. Check them out today. When you know it's the best, you know you're using Sidex. It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X.
Jason Rose is the president CEO of AccuRite Tax and Financial Services. They have document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
I think it's very accurate to call it a partnership because it's more of a relationship that you build up over time.
And your practice has had document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems for years.
Yeah, they know what you need, they know how to help, they're able to provide suggestions on future improvements or changes.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. Here for you today, helping you plan for the future.
It's a great deal. James Imaging is the real deal.
And Jason, the bottom line for your practice?
Keep us up and running, especially during tax season.
Keep your business up and running with document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Traffic is sponsored by the Delafield Brewhouse Restaurant and Brewery. Visit delafieldbrewhouse.com for daily specials.
On tap now at the Delafield Brewhouse, Weisenheimer's Munich Dunkel, a dark, rich, and bready lager made with German malt and hops. Drink ale, live lager. The Delafield Brewhouse.
Traffic and weather begins with the best in the business. Debbie Loziga. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon, John. Well, we do still have this accident, 4394 southbound at Howard Avenue. It is off on the right shoulder. Luckily, not too many people are slowing down behind it, so yay. A bit heavy on 43 southbound from Fond du Lac Avenue down past the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. That's something to keep in mind. Westbound 94, a bit heavy from just before 25th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. After that, you are good to go into Waukesha County. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, storms early are possible. Windy, a low of 46 degrees. Tomorrow, clouds to the north, sun to the south, a high of 54. On Saturday, morning mix, partly cloudy, a high of 40. On Sunday, partly cloudy, 38. Monday, slight chance for snow, a high of 40 degrees. I want to bring you up to speed on the latest on that shooting at the end of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl celebration that took place yesterday. ABC's Alex Stone has been tracking this story from the beginning, and he is with us. Alex, I guess we know more about what led to this. Is that right?
We do. We're learning more today. There are the questions, obviously, of was it an active shooter? Was there some kind of coordinated attack? There was nothing indicating from the beginning that that's what it was. But today, police are making it clear this was not an active shooter targeting the crowd. This was a street argument where those involved had guns, and they fired almost, it seems like dozens of times, hitting almost 24 victims in the crowd who were hit, and they went down. And it was all caught on microphone. The moment the Chiefs victory parade was wrapping up, the MC saying, "Thank you very much for being here. Everybody get home safely." And then it was this. And then you can hear the victory parade music still going on. Everybody went running. Two of the three who were detained today are under the age of 18. He was a radio DJ who was killed, 23 others who were hit and injured. There are others who have sprains and broken bones and panic attacks, and they went and got medical help for those. But the police chief in Kansas City today saying this.
This appeared to be a dispute between several people that ended in gunfire.
And the FBI and ATF are helping out, but because it seems like this was a fight, it was not terrorism, it was not a lone wolf doing something, that the local police are continuing to lead this. Trey Filter took down one of the shooters, held him down, fighting with him until police got there.
Couldn't see much. I heard that get him. I saw a flash next to me, and I remember I jumped and remember thinking, I hope this is who they were talking about.
Yeah, and it was. That's one of those who are detained right now, one of the three, and a gun fell to the ground. It was a handgun that came out. His wife picked it up, she told us.
It was heavy. At first, I actually thought it looked like a toy, but then once I picked it up, I quickly realized it definitely was not.
And guys, half of the victims shot were under 16 years old, the youngest being 8 years old, who has gunshot wounds. And we, a couple of minutes ago, heard from the trauma surgeon who worked on the first victim who arrived at University Health at the trauma center in Kansas City, and he just said,
got him straight up to the operating room and were able to stabilize him He has improved overnight despite his life-threatening injuries.
So there are still some who are critically injured, but as of today, seems like an example of street crime, guns on the streets like any American city when it all went down. A lot of innocent victims who got hit in this fight that was going on, but they don't believe it was much deeper than that. But a lot of people injured, a lot of people recovering.
Do we know anything about the shooter and the gun that was used?
No, we don't know any of that, really. We know that there were multiple guns that were seized by police. We don't know the make and model of them. We know that witnesses said they saw handguns, but that sounded like much more rapid fire unless it was just a lot of handguns being used all at the same time. There were some indications that maybe there was a rifle. Police won't talk about that. And the suspects, two of them being minors, we probably aren't going to learn a lot about them unless they try them as adults, charge them as adults. Nobody has been charged as of yet. Maybe tonight or tomorrow morning that will come down. But of the three who are detained, two are minors, one is an adult, and they say there may be more out there. They don't know yet.
Alex Stone is with us. Alex, I was struck yesterday as we were sitting in the studio watching this unfold and the video was coming in, the live feeds were coming in. 800 police officers on the scene, many of them running clearly towards gunfire. Can you talk about what the police chief had to say about how the officers performed?
Well, she says that they did exactly what they needed to do, that they moved in and they began going after those who they were being pointed toward, saying that that's the shooter, and they were being held down by the witnesses. There have been a lot of questions of how can this happen with 800 police officers? Yeah, but this was in a downtown environment, and in this downtown environment, nobody was being screened going through magnetometers. It's like any downtown environment. So everybody in that crowd, they could have whatever they had on them and nobody would have known. And you get a criminal element in the crowd that they're armed, and then maybe alcohol is involved, maybe not. And they begin to argue about something and guns come out and there's a gun battle, and just so many people around who end up getting hit by those bullets that it seems like this was criminal activity downtown, but police moved in. But how do you prevent that if you're not going into a secure area? Yeah, there can be a lot of cops around, but if people pull out guns and start shooting, what do they do?
I wanted to ask you a timing question, Alex. Were the players still on the stage when this happened? We've been told it was near the end of the rally. What was the timing like?
It was right at the end. The team saying they were getting onto buses to get out of there. We know nobody from the Chiefs, nobody was injured. But it was really right at the end. Travis Kelce had just done his seemingly drunk impression of Garth Brooks. And up there where they took the mic away from him, and then the MC came in and said, all right, thank you very much. And the team was still up there partying and jumping up and down and high-fiving each other. And so some of them, it seems, were still on stage, but the team says that they were getting into buses to get out of there.
Boy, there's people that tackled the shooter. What a hero that man is, or men.
Yeah, pretty much. There were a number of them. There were a couple of different guys who were tackled by witnesses, and each one of them had 3 or 4 who jumped on top of them and then wrestled the guns away from them and held them down and then called in police. That there were a lot of heroes yesterday of those who said, oh, no, you're not doing this, and jumped in and took them down.
And finally, to recap, Alex, the conditions of those that are still hospitalized, do some of them still have life-threatening injuries?
They do. There are some that are still in ICUs. We know a number of children are still at Children's Hospital in Kansas City. That at least at University Health, they say the 2 who are critical and in the ICU do appear to be doing better. One is more serious than the other. Some are critically injured at the other hospitals as well. But a majority of those who came in with gunshot wounds went home overnight, and they're now recovering at home. So for most of them who are among the injured, they're going to be all right. But still, for a few of them, they're critically injured.
ABC's Alex Stone reporting on that shooting in Kansas City yesterday. Alex, thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
It is 3:25 at WTMJ. After the news, Speaker Robin Vos says that medical marijuana, at least for now, the issue is dead in Wisconsin. This after he said that it would likely be brought up and pass earlier. I should say, I guess it was late last year. What is the change and what is going on, and where does Wisconsin stand in comparison to other states? Plus, how does the rest of the world view what's happening in our presidential politics? What do they think in places like France and Italy and Australia when they see the candidates we have for president? Lowell Barrington from Marquette will be with us coming up at 3:45. First time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Another good day for the stock market. The S&P actually hit a fresh record. It was up 29 points today to close at 5,029. The Dow was up 349 points to close at 38,773. The NASDAQ climbed 47 points. It sits at 15,906. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Want to tell you about a very cool event that's coming up that I'm going to be part of. It's March 5th at Berner Botanical Gardens. It's Bruce and Jean Nemovitz, senior real estate specialists. If you're thinking about moving out of your house, if it's time to downsize, maybe you have a mom or dad that it's time to think about moving them to somewhere they'd be more comfortable. Downsizing, moving out, it can be overwhelming. This is where Bruce and Jean specialize, and we've got a free seminar coming up March 5th, Berner Botanical Gardens. Doors open at 8:30. It's free. I'm going to be there. I'd love to meet you and talk to you. Many great speakers from Bruce and Jean's team because they specialize in this area. It's a free seminar, but you need to register ahead of time. It's easy. Register at brucesteam.com, brucesteam.com, or call 262-242-6177. Here's the phone number again, 262-242-6177. March 5th, Berner Botanical Gardens. Doors open at 8:30. It's specialization in downsizing your house, getting out of there and getting to somewhere more comfortable. It's free. I'd love to see you there. Register at brucesteam.com or by calling 262-242-6177. Bruce and Jean Nemovitz, taking you from overwhelmed to I can do this.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, Milwaukee's fire chief promising EMS policy updates.
I'm Debbie Lozga, and on 4394 southbound at Howard Avenue, we do have a crash. It's off on the right. Now we're starting to see delays coming in from just before Lincoln all the way down to that scene. So just be careful with that. Westbound 94 is going to be slow from about 25th Street through to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 41 on and off the brakes from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lozga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy and windy, a low of 46. On Friday, windy and cloudy skies, a high not a high of 54, excuse me. At 3:31, it is 35 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky says foot searches will be required anytime a patient is not immediately located. The Milwaukee Public Safety and Health Committee met today to discuss ambulance policies after Jolene Waldref died at a bus stop in January, despite an ambulance responding to her location. Although Lipsky did not have a written draft of official protocol changes to share yet today, the committee did recommend that the full council approve the ambulance service contracts for private companies Bell Ambulance and Curtis Ambulance Service. Multimillionaire Republican business Mayor Eric Hovde is planning to launch a bid for U.S. Senate against Democratic incumbent Tammy Baldwin next week. Hovde previously ran for Senate in 2012, losing in the Republican primary to former Governor Tommy Thompson. Scott Meyer, Franklin businessman, and former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark are also considering Senate runs. Other high-profile Republicans, including U.S. Representatives Tom Tiffany and Mike Gallagher, have opted out of running. Milwaukee Housing Authority residents are renewing calls for the resignation of Hackham President Willie Hines Jr. after months of complaints over uninhabitable apartments. During a meeting at City Hall Wednesday, resident Betty Newton says the conditions in her building have been appalling.
We live with mold. We live with pests. Yes. We live with conditions that you wouldn't want your family in, but you expect us to live that way.
Our partners at TMJ4 News have requested multiple on-screen interviews with President Hines, but he has declined each time. The FBI says the Russian government may have been spying on your home computer network. ABC's Andy Field has the details.
The FBI saying Russia's GRU intelligence hacked into more than 1,000 U.S. home and small business routers, trying to carry out cyber operations here and around the world. The FBI was able to stop the hackers and lock them out, saying Russian agents used malware called MooBoot that U.S. computer experts disabled. The FBI has notified internet providers about possible hacking victims and what they should do.
A new energy project could become the city of Milwaukee's largest solar power installation.
A proposal is pending with the Milwaukee Common Council that would convert a 15-acre parcel on a landfill near Milwaukee Mitchell International to a solar field. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports We Energies would pay $15,000 a year for the lease. Under a separate agreement connected to the project, the city would receive renewable energy credits that would count towards Milwaukee's goal of getting a quarter of electricity it uses for city buildings, streetlights, and the HOP from renewable resources by 2025. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin corporate headquarters for American Girl will be closing this year. WISC-TV in Madison reports around 30 employees will be impacted by the closure as the facility spreads its closure out between February and September of this year. Some corporate functions for the company will continue to be operated remotely. American Girl has been owned by Mattel since 1998. The Bucks are back on the court tonight in Memphis against the Grizzlies. Tip-off is at 7:30, and our coverage begins on WTMJ at 7. Milwaukee Brewers pitchers and catchers reported to American Family Fields of Phoenix yesterday. Spring training starts on WTMJ on February 24th. In college basketball, 7th-ranked Marquette hosts St. John's on Saturday evening, and 11th-ranked Wisconsin visits Rutgers on Saturday morning. I'm Jessica Gatso, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 3:34.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation.
At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone, Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations, brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp, and new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Hey, there's free pizza today at the Amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford. Seriously, it's free. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. No coupons, no gimmicks. It's the best Thursday dining value anywhere, and it's delicious. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 10, get 10 free. Any size, any quantity. Coaches, bring in your basketball, hockey, wrestling, gymnastics teams. Your players can beef up on the Mineshaft's great pizza. Your players will also love that world-class game room. It's great for team bonding. It's big food. It's big fun. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and valued clients. They'll appreciate you, and your second pizza is free. So don't cook and clean today. Take your family to the Mineshaft. Buy one pizza, get one free. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. The Mineshaft right there in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh off the interstate. Order now and pick up your free hot pizza shortly. I love the pepperoni. It's the Amazing Mineshaft.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Coming up at 3:45, a topic I'm fascinated by after I read a couple interesting articles. What the rest of the world thinks about our choices. You hear Americans everywhere say it. I swear I must hear this every week, 5 times. These are the choices we have. What do you think the rest of the world, who still views us as leaders, thinks? We'll discuss that coming up at about 3:45. But first, breaking news today. Robin Vos, the Speaker of the Assembly, says that a proposal to legalize marijuana for medicinal uses is pretty much dead. Said it's not going to happen, telling reporters today that Assembly Republicans had this plan. They wanted to create state-run dispensaries, so the state would run these dispensaries for medical marijuana. And he said that's not going to work because the state Senate doesn't like the idea. They don't want the state involved in running the dispensaries. Vos says, well, then we could control some of it. Senate doesn't
I
like
get
it.
that. I
I
mean,
do too.
I just think they don't want medical marijuana passed, period.
You
know?
nailed it.
Yeah.
They're looking for an excuse not to pass this.
Any excuse, because if you did have some regulation, then you could have some accountability.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think he's not sad that the Senate didn't go along with his plan.
Oh, darn. And we're going to take it up, but the Assembly will be adjourned for the season.
Yep. Not our fault.
Oh,
We tried.
Sorry, we tried.
Here's one of the interesting things. Robin Vos has discussed at length over the course of the last 12 months medical marijuana. And he's kind of had an evolution. He was on the record against it. Then he kind of came around to the state dispensary idea with really serious limitations on who could use it and for what. He had this to say on WTMJ Now back in December.
I just think when we look at the opioid crisis and the fact that we see productivity that has declined, adding more drugs to our society has no positive benefit. You know, we don't need the tax revenue. So everybody says, oh, we could generate tax money. It would just mean we spend more on the exact programs where people are overutilizing whatever we prescribe.
Okay, first off, that last part, I don't understand at all. I mean, we all know we need more money in the state, despite the fact we have a surplus. You could use this for treatment of opioids. You could target the money that you collect for any way you want. Treat those who are addicted.
And we're such an outlier because we have Iowa, we have Michigan, we have Minnesota that are all allowing it. 38 states have legalized medical marijuana.
Yeah, to emphasize your point, that means we're one of 12 that haven't. One of 12 that have not. So what would Vos's plan have done that Senate Republicans would not go along with? You would need a prescription for a doctor. Right,
and you have to have a severely ill condition, right?
Yeah, so there's 15. These are the
15 requirements.
15 conditions that you could use it to be treated for. It's a very small list.
Yeah.
They include things like cancer, HIV or AIDS, glaucoma, severe chronic pain, multiple sclerosis, terminal illness with life expectancy of less than a year, and a couple of other things. So and you couldn't be like a type that you smoke.
Right,
it would
no
have
smoking.
To be an edible. It would have to be prescribed by a doctor.
No recreational use. We're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody who has a year to live. I just can't get my arms around it.
I can't either.
Why can't they be pain-free? Why can't they enjoy? I'm not even saying that. Like, just have some peace. Peace.
Right. Chronic pain.
Yeah.
So I talked to somebody today who told me that their grandma was just diagnosed with cancer. Oh. And that the only thing that gives her relief is medical marijuana. Mm-hmm. And she lives in Wisconsin. Mm-mm. So she's feeling like a criminal because the only thing that will give her relief is marijuana.
Well, how does she get it, John?
Well, you can drive to Illinois.
I mean, that's what I hear.
So instead, now you got, 85-year-old grandma driving to Illinois to get medical marijuana.
It's terrible.
She's not token up because she wants to watch Netflix and chill.
Right. She's
got cancer.
She's in pain.
And she's driving to Illinois.
Yeah, this just seems really wrong-headed. And if you had, like you're saying, the 5 state locations where you had a dispensary, they just shuttled it to get rid of it,
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the leader of the Senate has questioned the wisdom of legalizing marijuana for any reason. So, and then surprise, surprise, it didn't come up at all. There are indicators that this may be revisited in the future, but we've heard that for years and years and years.
A lot of years.
And it's dead for this year, at least according right from the speaker, Robin Voss. By the way, where does the population stand on this? The latest Marquette poll that asked this question a few years ago found that 83% of Wisconsinites approve medical marijuana use with the doctor's approval. 83%.
Not even 83% of people think all puppies are cute.
Exactly.
You can't get 83% of anybody to agree on anything.
Yeah, you're right. That's a huge number.
It's a huge number.
So at some point, isn't that doing a disservice to the people you represent? If 83%...
Your constituents are telling you, but this is the problem. They're not listening.
No, by and large, they are not.
Except for when it comes to election time.
Oh, then they're listening.
Yep.
What are you saying? I'm here.
Right.
It is 3:43 at WTMJ. We talk a little more politics coming up. What does the rest of the world think about what's happening in the United States when it comes to politics on the national stage? We'll dive into that straight ahead.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I always enjoy having a podium. If you're giving a speech, they'll say, you want a podium? Who passes on a podium?
See the world from his perspective on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Have you ever been asked a question that when they asked it, you're like, that's kind of a dumb one?
Every day at 7:50.
Yeah, Wildy, pretty much. Jason Wildy, 9 to 12, pretty much every morning. Yeah.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealer. Tello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
John Mercure here for Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. I love my dogs. Bella and Baxter are the best. They're cute. They're adorable. And now they actually listen better thanks to Matt and his teams at Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. I was a skeptic. I was like, I don't know. I'm going to pay money to have somebody else tell me how to make my dog behave. Yeah, I did. And it worked. We started with a free consultation. You can do the same thing. They've got multiple locations at Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Get that free consultation. Matt met the dogs met Matt, and then ba-boom! Next thing you know, we were going in for lessons, and it's incredible, I'm telling you. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. My house is more peaceful thanks to Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Check them out today. Sit Mean Sit Dog Training.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day, and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
The countdown to opening day is on. Get your tickets for an action-packed 2024 Brewers season now. That's any game you want, any way you want. All season, featuring brand new giveaways, brand new theme nights and community nights, can't miss ticket deals, and all the season's best Brewers action. Make sure you're here for every moment. Check out the complete schedule and grab your seats now at brewers.com/tickets.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. Southbound on 43. We are seeing delays basically from around North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Stays heavy all the way down to about Howard Avenue, where there is a crash off on the right shoulder. So that'll be a long ride. Westbound 94 from about 16th Street all the way through to about Mitchell Boulevard. Going to be seeing that heavy ride there. Eastbound is just heavy right through the stadium interchange itself. Southbound on 41 from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down past a broken down vehicle. It's just on the off-ramp to Burleigh, and it's causing some issues heading back past that towards Silver Spring. And be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, showers early and windy, a low 46 degrees. Tomorrow, clouds to the north and south. Saturday, a mix again, a high of 40. Sunday, partly cloudy, 38. Monday, chance for snow, a high of 40 degrees. Right now, it's sunny and 37 degrees. So I was struck by a couple things in the last couple of months. I took a group of listeners to Scandinavia. So we were in Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Iceland, and it was a wonderful trip. Almost everywhere we went, people who follow what's happening in America said to me, "What is going on with your choices for president?"
I think that you sound maybe German, but I get what you mean.
Okay, well, I wasn't in Germany, but they could not understand it.
Right, they can understand it.
And then today, a couple of days ago, I read the leader of France expressing concern about what's happening. I wanted to get some perspective on this. Lowell Barrington is an expert in this area. He is in the political science department at Marquette University, and he is with us this afternoon. Lowell, thank you so much for being here.
Good afternoon, John. Thanks for having me.
So I just want to start with that. What does the rest of the world think when they stop and see what we're doing? I mean, they still view us in many nations as the leader of the free world, and then they see what's happening here and what our choices are. I know it's hard to generalize, but how are they viewing us?
Well, I think it'd be good to break it into a couple different parts there. Your comment about how people in other countries broadly in the population see us is something that might be different from how leaders in those countries see us. So what the people of France think may not be what Macron thinks. And you're right, the people in other countries actually often have quite favorable views of the United States. In fact, often more positive about things like how politically stable we are, interestingly, than even we are in the United States about ourselves. But they also certainly have been, to the extent that they're following politics in the United States, I think I would say there's, as you were getting at, maybe a lot of confusion. What exactly would it take for a person running for office to basically suggest that that enemies of their country would be, welcome to attack allies of their country if they didn't pay up enough money to NATO or something? I think it really is a matter of confusion among the broader population. The leaders, though, I mean, again, there were real alarm bells set off in European countries, especially among leaders of NATO members, with former President Trump's comments. Both 2 days ago, he actually kind of doubled down again last night at a rally in South Carolina, too. So I think that is something to have in mind. The flip side is there are leaders that are really enjoying this. I mean, this is, if you're Vladimir Putin, you're sitting back with a kind of quiet glee, I think. I mean, anything that shows a weaker and more divided alliance among the world's most powerful democracies is going to be welcomed by someone like Putin.
Lowell, we see a lack of confidence in both the candidates, and of course, age being one of the main issues, and fitness for the office. I was looking at a Pew Research survey looking at U.S. President Joe Biden receiving mostly positive reviews from people around the world, and showing that in 23 countries, a median of 54% express confidence in him, while 39% say they lack confidence. It's sort of the opposite here in our country, is it not?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think some of that has to do with the media coverage that people in the United States would see. I think some of it is we experience things on a daily basis that people in other countries may not see in the same way about us. I think Biden has a certain respect from a long career in politics. I mean, there are a lot of people around the world that would have known him somewhat even obviously before he became president, from his time as vice president and as a real leader on foreign policy issues. So I think there's a sense of his command of issues, his experience, that probably is something that people in other countries think a little more about. We're focused more on those gaffes and the different things we see on the news on a more daily basis.
I want to ask you if it matters to the leaders at all. Does it matter to them how the rest of the world views us? I mean, no one in the rest of the world will vote, but it's important at some level.
It should matter. I mean, I think you're right that it probably depends quite a bit on which leader we're talking about, or which group of advisors to a particular leader we're talking about. I mean, we tried isolation once, we got World War II. I mean, we can ignore global problems, but they're going to bite us really hard. And I think how people view us, and especially the way that statements that are made can ripple through alliances, are something we need to take really seriously. I guess, I mean, look, we often either don't pay attention to other countries or we don't care, and I think neither of those are a good idea. I think we engage with the world preventatively, or we end up having to do it reactively. It's going to be one or the other.
Well, that brings up an interesting point with President Trump running for office. He has been anti-NATO, and the U.S. and Biden have worked very hard, along with other NATO countries, to bring in Sweden, and finally got Turkey to agree to it. Do you feel that if Trump were elected, it would jeopardize that alliance?
There's very good reason to think that. I mean, not only his own statements, but I think you have to take seriously the statements of his former advisors, people in his cabinet, his former national security advisor. I mean, people who are saying they really believe he may push the United States to pull out of NATO. At a minimum, he's going to make the alliance a little more internally divided than it would otherwise be. And I think that's unfortunate. I think that NATO brings tremendous benefits to the United States. It gives us reliable allies. And I would say, by the way, a powerful set of them. I think we are, and we think of ourselves as the top country of NATO in strength. But the non-U.S. NATO members have over 3 million active duty troops and reservists. I mean, this is a huge force that joins us in efforts a lot of times. So I think that, again, we benefit in a lot of ways. And interestingly, Europe, for the most part, actually wants our involvement. I think they get more upset by the idea that we might leave or pull out of Europe in terms of our engagement with them than feeling like we might be pushing them around in Europe. There's a European scholar actually had this very interesting way to talk about NATO. He said it's an empire by invitation. In other words, we control it in a lot of ways, but the people who are part of that, the countries that are part of that, are there willingly, and they really want that, and they want us to be a part of it.
Lowell, we've only got a minute left. What does it tell you that a lot of people overseas could name who our president is and even who the Speaker of the House is, and most of us cannot name the leader of any country except maybe like England?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And again, this is not new, and it has gotten worse. I mean, you'd think now with all the media options we have and all the things we could look up online that we'd have a better sense of the world. But again, there's a focus on the immediate and the present and the day-to-day little bits of things in our lives too much, and I think we miss our bigger place in the world. I hope that changes eventually. I think we engage with the world one way or the other. We engage with it on our terms, or we get pulled into it on someone else's terms. And I think it would be best for us to be engaged up front.
Marquette University political science professor Lowell Barrington, great perspective. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
It is 3:55 at WTMJ. Hey, special treat during the 4 o'clock hour. Pat Murphy, the Brewers manager, will be with us live coming up at 4:15. Spring training, the boys are in Arizona, and Pat is with us from Arizona. We'll do that in about 20 minutes. Business headlines up next.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate, and for every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free. Plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Restrictions apply. Just like me, you'll be saying,
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
ODW Logistics closes its facility in Waukesha and eliminates 107 jobs starting in April. The Ohio-based firm says the closing results from losing a major customer. Rogan's Shoes, with 28 locations and several in the metro area, is sold. The Wisconsin chain's new owner, the fast-growing Shoe Carnival of Indiana. The popular Cafe Benelux in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward temporarily closes for extensive renovations. The restaurant on Broadway plans to reopen in early April. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
According to the U.S. debt clock, our debt is over $32 trillion and climbing. The question is, how do we pay it off? One of the most likely answers is increasing taxes. Now think about your retirement accounts. Do you want to pay taxes on some of that money now when rates are historically low, or later when rates are potentially higher? At Drake & Associates, we can help you create a plan so your retirement is tax efficient as possible. If you'd like to continue your education, we have our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides on retirement tax savings. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text TAX to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting TAX to 414-409-9982. When taxes go up, will you be ready? Call or text now.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Join Special Olympics Wisconsin at this year's Polar Plunge, celebrating 25 years of plunging. The Polar Plunge raises funds for Special Olympics Wisconsin athletes. Folks in the area will be freezing for a reason on Saturday, February 24th at Foxbrook Park in Brookfield. This is your chance to support athletes who are breaking down barriers to build communities of inclusion. Register today and do your part for Special Olympics Wisconsin. Visit plungewi.org for details or to donate. That's plungewi.org.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Not only did we receive a fair offer, but we were able to take as much time as we needed and could leave the house a mess.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to AdventKnows.com.
Sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Find delicious and versatile frozen cod loins this week at Sendik's for just $3.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Lillard thought about the three. Now good bounce pass inside to Giannis, who ramps it home with a two-hand
The Bucks are in Memphis against the Grizzlies, with our coverage starting tonight at 7 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a challenger announcing his bid for Tammy Baldwin's Senate seat.
I'm Amy Taylor. Updates on gunfire at a Chiefs celebration.
I'm Debbie Laziga. We're seeing delays basically from 4 North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette on 43 and onto 4394. There is an accident at Howard Avenue off on the right shoulder. Seems to be the problem. We've got westbound 94 backing up from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, with the eastbound side heavy from 76th Street all the way to about 27th. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 24 degrees. Tomorrow, breezy and chilly, a high of 31 degrees. It's currently 37. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, multimillionaire Republican businessman Eric Hovde is planning to launch a bid for U.S. Senate against Democratic incumbent Tammy Baldwin next week.
Outside of a few political ads, Hovde has stayed largely out of the public eye since his previous run for Senate in 2012.
So many of the problems that we've experienced over the last, 11, 12 years have been these boom and bust cycles.
That race ended for Hovde in the Republican primary, losing to former Governor Tommy Thompson.
Sadly, it didn't work out the way it was planned to.
This fall, Franklin businessman Scott Meyer and former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark are also considering Senate runs. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
More updates this afternoon on the shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs celebration on Wednesday that killed one person and injured more than 20 others. Kansas City police telling ABC News the incident is believed to have been caused by a dispute between several people, which resulted in gunfire. 2 juvenile suspects have been detained, and several firearms were recovered. The victims range in age from 8 to 47 years, with half of the victims under the age of 16.
Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky says foot searches will be required anytime a patient is not immediately located. The Milwaukee Public Safety and Health Committee met today to discuss ambulance policies after Jolene Waldriff died at a bus stop in January despite an ambulance responding to her location. Although Lipsky did not have a written draft of official protocol changes to share yet, the committee did recommend that the full council approve the ambulance service contracts for private companies Bell Ambulance and Curtis Ambulance Service.
Assembly Speaker Robin Vos saying today a proposal that would implement state-run medical marijuana dispensaries appears to be dead today. Vos says there are differing positions amongst Republican caucuses about how the program would be run. Vos had said in January he would not amend the proposal despite Republican concerns.
We have a very detailed bill that I am pretty sure has 50 votes in our caucus to pass. So taking and renegotiating the bill means we probably lose votes in our caucus.
A Marquette law poll in 2019 showed 83% of Wisconsin voters approved of medical marijuana use.
Brewers pitchers and catchers report to Arizona today. All eyes are on the future of the team, including up-and-coming infielder Jackson Chourio. Brewers president of business operations Rick Schlesinger tells Wisconsin's Morning News the team is already prepping for Chourio's big league debut from a marketing perspective.
We're already selling, Chourio jerseys, player tees. That was obviously something we took advantage of right away. Believe me, we are preparing for videos and other things when him and the other players come up.
Spring training games start February 24th, and the manager of the Brewers, Pat Murphy, joins us live coming up here at 4:15.
A feature-length documentary on Bucs superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo premieres next week. Producer and director of the film, Kristen Lapis, on Wisconsin's Morning News, says we will understand better than we ever have how important family is to Giannis.
If his family had never got their visas and were able to move over here, I'm not sure that he would have had an NBA career. And I'm being totally honest.
Giannis, the marvelous journey takes you from childhood in Greece through Giannis's championship season with the Bucs. It premieres on Prime Video and in select theaters on Monday.
The Bucs are back on the court tonight in Memphis against the Grizzlies. Tip-off is at 7:30. Our coverage on WTMJ begins at 7. And in college basketball, Saturday afternoon is busy with 4th-ranked Marquette playing first-place UConn, and 20th-ranked Wisconsin visits Iowa.
Starting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:04.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Hey, Wayne, shopping for a new door?
I sure am.
This fiberglass door is really strong. We love ours. Do you need something more dependable?
Yes, something that's durable, dent resistant, knows how to take a hit, and is going to last for years.
We're still talking about the door, right?
Oh, yeah, right, of course.
Wayne Larrabee and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? What could happen next? How about 0% interest for up to 60 months? I'm Gina Della from Pella. This incredible offer from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is only available until February 23rd, so hurry. We offer a wide range of window and door styles to perfectly match your home's unique design. Customize your home for 0% interest for up to 60 months when you place your order by February 23rd. Only at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 2/23/2024.
Hey, there's free pizza today at the Amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford. Seriously, it's free. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. No coupons, no gimmicks. It's the best Thursday dining value anywhere, and it's delicious. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 10, get 10 free. Any size, any quantity. Coaches, bring in your basketball, hockey, wrestling, gymnastics teams. Your players can beef up on the Mineshaft's great pizza. Your players will also love that world-class game room. It's great for team bonding. It's big food. It's big fun. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and valued clients. They'll appreciate you, and your second pizza is free. So don't cook and clean today. Take your family to the Mineshaft. Buy one pizza, get one free. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. The Mineshaft right there in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh off the interstate. Order now and pick up your free hot pizza shortly. I love the pepperoni. It's the Amazing Mineshaft.
I couldn't even bend over, but now after stem cell treatment, I can deadlift a house.
Now, this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes, and I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100%. It's expensive, and it doesn't last. At Rejuvenex, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John Mercure.
All right, so glad you're here. My friend Amy Taylor is co-hosting the show this afternoon. The newsroom is stacked up. We've got everybody working in there. Debbie's actually in the newsroom, too. She's got your roads, and Sam Butson is producing the show this afternoon. You enjoy a nice glass of wine once in a while, right?
It's possible. Yeah, once in a while. Uh-huh.
I do, too.
Right?
This is very interesting. A new survey out about Gen Z. Now, this is the youngest of our generation. It's from 12 years old to 27.
Yeah, I always have to think X, Y, Z. Do you have to go through that all the time? Go, wait, which one
And then
are
I
we?
still don't really know like exactly what the years are or age. So for this survey, they talked to people between the ages of 21 and 26. That's Gen Z. And they talked to them about wine. 2/3 of Gen Z surveyed said they would rather drink wine in the comfort of their own homes rather than going out. 23% would choose to go to a bar, and 18% say they would prefer to drink at some sort of live event. So there's overlap in those numbers. You may have noticed they had to rank things, but the number one choice was that they wanted to drink at home. Here I thought was also really interesting. A majority of them say they would rather drink with friends than drink with their partner.
You know, usually I feel like I have good instincts on this kind of thing. Like, I know why. I have no idea. What is that about? What?
Well, I don't know for sure either, but it seems like we work with a lot of people in this age group upstairs.
Yeah.
and it's fun to talk to them. And
did they react?
They're always going out in groups of friends.
Friends, it's
right?
all
This
about
happened probably. Your girls are just barely out of high school. It wasn't prom like that, and
it wasn't all
groups?
about the dates, or it wasn't everything in my age group was always about the date. And
Me too,
and the
sure.
match and the boyfriend or the girlfriend. The relationship. And I feel like this is not a relationship generation.
So this is that same age group. So I guess if that carries over from going to prom and homecoming in groups, that now they want to drink with their friends instead of cuddling in with one significant other.
Do you think, and also for my generation, I think it was about beer, to be honest.
For sure.
Right?
Especially at that age, 21 to 26. We weren't drinking wine.
Nobody was drinking wine.
Wine cooler.
Right.
Bartles and James.
Bartles and James.
Oh, my God.
Take me back.
Maybe a Zima.
Thunderbird.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right, though.
Right.
We weren't drinking wine.
Not at all.
Seriously.
Not at all. And is that some of it that people are intimidated about wine or not really understanding it?
So to your point, this is another interesting question in the survey. They were asked which spirits they know the most about. Number one on the list for this young age group was vodka. Number 2 was tequila. Number 3 was beer.
That's just crazy to me.
4 was wine, and 5 was champagne or sparkling wine. So number 1 for this age group, 21 to 26, was vodka.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
My girls were like, Tito's this and Tito's that in their conversation. I'm like, what?
How do you know that?
How do you know that?
Yeah.
How do you know that? And they're like, Mom, that's the good one. Everybody knows that.
How old are your triplets?
Well, they're not 21, but they can talk about alcohol, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like they know the lingo.
They're 20. They turn 21 next year.
Oh, wow. What an exciting time for your family.
It'll be exciting, yeah.
And they don't drink as much, the research shows either. This generation doesn't drink as much as Gen X, millennials, or boomers.
Well, John, the worst thing I heard this last year was that the CDC said no amount of alcohol is good. What?
Yeah, who the hell's running that organization?
So upsetting.
Yeah. And wrong. That's wrong.
It must be some
So
problem.
you fired off an email? Here's a survey that says red wine is good for you. And chocolate, too.
I just found that very distressing.
Yeah, I want to see the data on that.
I need to
Can
look
you back
into
that up?
Yeah.
So bars are worried because of the first stat I told you that they're opting to drink from home.
I wonder if could any of it, could it have to do with the pandemic at all? People just staying at home more, getting into that, getting
Could
into
be.
the DoorDash. And
Yep.
I know I've seen some charges in college from DoorDash. I'm like, what is with this?
Yep.
Can't y'all get up and get out?
Why? They'll bring it to me, Mom. Why would I get up and go anywhere? Can you get alcohol delivered in DoorDash? Your girls aren't old enough, but in general, can you?
I don't know. I would imagine you could.
I've only used DoorDash twice, and it was really bad experiences.
Oh, it's just like another app, another sign-in, another password.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can't get up and go to McDonald's myself. So bring me the cold cheeseburgers.
Right.
So let me get this right. You're going to go to McDonald's, pick it up on your little scooter, and then you're going to drive it to my house, and it's still going to be good?
Isn't that nuts? Or in Madison, they have the robots, the little starships that bring food to people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. All right. Hey, we're going to switch gears up next. I've been looking forward to this conversation all day. Pat Murphy is the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. Spring training started today. Tickets are on sale. Lots of great stuff. Murph is with us up next on WTMJ. Hey, John Mercure here. Join me Saturday at noon for Experience Wisconsin. I love the show because we explore the entire state, from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, the best spots in Wisconsin. This week we are joined by Lauren Sackett from the Northwoods. We check into Rhinelander.
Pastas, steaks, all that kind of stuff, but chef is so good.
Teresa Nemitz with the Milwaukee Food and City Tours. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturday at noon right here on 620 WTMJ. John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I've got a Ford Explorer. I've actually got 2 Ford Explorers. That's how much I like the Ford Explorer. And Griffin Chevrolet is where I bought, Griffin Ford, is where I bought that. I love it. I love the experience when you go into Griffin Ford in Waukesha. It's easy. They've got a lot of inventory. Right now, I just checked, about 180 new vehicles in stock ready to preview. 180 sitting right there. Choose from over 50 new Ford F-150s, F-250s, and the F-350. They stock more F-Series than the competition. That's why they help more friends and family buy F-Series. Shop their wide range at griffinford.com today. Do that before you even head in there. 135 pre-owned trucks, SUVs, and sedans available. They start at under $7,000. Check it out. Carfax top-rated dealer, award winner. And right now, they've still got the Valentine's special going. I know, it was only yesterday. They'll inspect and rotate your tires, check your battery, a complete multi-point inspection, check your heat, change your wiper blades and air filter for $179.95. Stop into Griffin Ford today.
Changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Is it time to give your home a new look?
Absolutely.
Get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling has a design team ready to help with all flooring and remodeling needs, including tub-to-shower conversions. Want to create your dream kitchen, including cabinets? How about the rec room? Adair Floors and Remodeling has been family-run in Franklin for over 65 years. For floors and all home remodeling needs, get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin, and online at adairfloors.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey there, Deb.
Hey there, John. Northbound 41 at Burleigh. We've got an accident off on the right shoulder, so that's going to be tying things up a bit through there. The southbound side's a bit heavy from Silver Spring down past Burleigh as well, so something to keep in mind. Westbound 94, heavy out of the 20th Street area all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound's going to be slowing down from 68th Street to 27th Street. And then a couple of pockets of heavy traffic on 4394 as you're coming off of the high-rise bridge all the way down towards the KK River. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 24 degrees. Tomorrow, breezy and chilly, a high of 31. Saturday, sunny, cool, breezy, a high of 30. Sunday starts to warm up a little bit. Sunny skies, a high of 37. Monday, mostly sunny, a high of 40 degrees. Right now, it's sunny and 36. Spring training is underway in Arizona. The crew, some of them are on the ground there. Man, the excitement is building here in Milwaukee, too. It's so good to be talking baseball. Pat Murphy is the Brewers manager, and he is with us on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline. Hey, Pat, thanks for being here.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
How does it feel to be the man? I mean, you're in the big chair. This is your debut this year. How are you feeling?
I don't look at it that way, in terms of being the man. I just look at I've got a role to do like I have the last 8 years, and we'll try to, do the best we can, and something special is going to happen.
Something special like you're going to win?
I wouldn't bet against us.
I like that attitude. Are you on the verge of any more big trades?
Not sure. That's not my role to dictate the trades. I'm lucky enough to say include me in the conversations, but I'm not going to speculate what we're going to do next or if we're going to do anything, but just getting this ball club ready to compete at the highest level. Shock the world, I guess, because it doesn't look like people are going to believe we're still going to be good, but I think we are.
Yeah, I'm betting with you, that's for sure. I wanted to ask you about Ricky Weeks, fan favorite when he played here. He's a fun guy, great energy. The introductory press conference, it was fun to listen to. What's Ricky Weeks like on a day-in, day-out basis?
He's tremendous. He's a remarkable young man. His presence alone is special. I think that's what people see. He's just got a great perspective on the game. He can impact players, and that's why he was my first choice to have join the staff.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy is with us. For those that aren't familiar with spring training, it's just underway. Take us inside what it's like these early days. Is it a lot of meetings? Is it physicals? Is it stretching? Do the guys do much? Can you kind of lead us through what this week looks like?
Well, I mean, pitchers and catchers report first. They're the backbone of our team in a lot of ways, but they've got to be a little bit ahead because there's so much for them to be done. So yes, they're here first. They've been throwing bullpens. They've been doing things like that, and catchers are catching pens. Everybody's getting their body right, so everybody's in the training room, in the weight room, physicals. But now tomorrow becomes our first kind of official on the field workout with pitchers and catchers. So they'll go through a circuit of ball handling, circle of fielding their position, holding runners, and it'll be a full day. Throw bullpens, throw live bullpens, things like that. It's a full day, believe me. And they come in great shape. That's the standard. You can't be a major league player and not come in good shape. So. Sometimes the veterans can get away with things that others can't because they know how it goes and they know they're going to be given the opportunity to get in shape.
So the day is of
March, everybody comes.
The days of Babe Ruth showing up with a case of hot dogs in one bag and beer in the other. Those days are gone.
I think they were probably exaggerated, but to be honest, for things like this, so we can talk about it. But I think that those days are gone. These guys are so committed. They realize how select it is to be part of the major leagues. It's not easy to get there. It's not natural talent doesn't get you there. You got to work for this thing, and you got to excel, and you got to be on the cutting edge of everything. And it's very difficult. These guys are the best in the world. And there's a lot of guys that want to do it because it's a pretty special lifestyle, pretty special living, and there's a lot of guys that want to be it. A lot of guys. And only a few make it. So.
Pat Murphy with us on WTMJ. So Jackson Chourio and the Brewers make news this offseason, sign him to a big deal. There's a lot of excitement here in Milwaukee and a lot of excitement around the league about the young outfielder. What makes him special?
Yeah, I mean, he's 19 years old, and you'd think he was 25 by the way you see him swing the bat and by the way he approaches things. He's a very confident young man, but he's very young. So, we've got to be realistic. When he's ready, he's ready. But it's not a guarantee that he's ready yet.
When you bring somebody in who's 19, like you're saying, mentally, I'm thinking about my daughters that are 20, and I think about how like the confidence plays into it so much. Is that a large part of your job as coach? Is working with their mental game too?
There's no question. So it's more than astute comment on your part. I mean, it's more than a little part of my job. It's part of all the coaches' jobs. I mean, you have to have that feel. You have to have a perspective on how to help them get strong mentally. But confidence doesn't come from other people. Confidence comes from within, and they gotta experience through their preparation, through their past experiences, and through their belief system. They have to become confident, and he's got to jump those hurdles.
Brewers skipper Pat Murphy with us here on WTMJ. So tickets on sale today for individual games. It's a big day in Milwaukee. All 2024 Brewers home games, including the home opener, are on sale. I wanted to ask you about opening day. Opening day in Milwaukee is almost like an unofficial holiday here in Wisconsin. What makes opening day so special?
The people. I mean, this is still a game about people. None of this matters unless you have a great following, and our fans are awesome, and that's what makes for that day. I mean, it's another game for the players because the players are used to opening day. You know what I mean? They're used to big crowds and big stadiums. They're used to that. But what makes Milwaukee Brewers baseball so special, especially opening day, is the fans. The fans come out, and that's that the players immediately realize we have a great following.
I got one more question that's kind of off the bat. Okay, what do you think about Travis Kelce yelling at his coach like that? Did you? I mean, was it passion in the moment?
That's awesome.
You thought it was awesome.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome
because
he cares. And he cares, and he's involved, and he's invested. He's got a lot on the line, and he's probably got as much pressure on him as anyone. But, he has a relationship with that guy that's second to none. I promise you that. He knows that guy well. It'd be like myself and Wade Miley. Like, we're tight. You think when I go take the ball from him in the 5th inning and he's only got 68 pitches and he's thinking, damn, Murph, I can get this guy out. And I'm like, well, that's good for you, Wade. I'm making this decision. And he's like, well, that's BS.
Yeah,
and
let me at him.
Good.
Let me at him, right?
Yeah. And then it's back and forth, and it's just part of it. And I don't think that's necessarily a negative thing. I think it's like part of what the fans see and they think that's a negative. I think it's, to be honest with you, I think that's misunderstood, and it's part of the height of the game. That's Super Bowl. That's it.
It's the highest level there is.
Last man standing.
Yeah.
Last man standing. And he didn't like what was going on, and he's invested, and there's nothing wrong. Hey, there's nothing wrong with coaches yelling at players either, I don't think.
It was literally the fog of war, right? I mean, it's like you're in the moment and you're going for it. I just didn't understand the people who were so critical of him, and I thought it was unfair.
And then he felt the need to apologize because of the criticism.
Yeah, right.
Well, you're caught in a spot there when you're in the public eye for so long, and people are writing in and claiming this or claiming that. You feel an obligation to say, like, I'll clear the air or whatever, but
right.
Sometimes nothing's good enough, and you just say, okay, I'm sorry I did it. I shouldn't have done it. And I mean, I don't know the circumstances. I have no idea the relationship. I'm just assuming. So I could be dead wrong myself. So.
Hey, Murph, one more for you.
I've been wrong before. I've been wrong.
Nah, not this year. You're not going to be.
It was early 70s. Early 70s.
We're super excited to hear Bob Uecker back on the radio on Saturday. He's going to call the game.
Too,
tell us what makes Uecker so special.
It's hard to talk about. To be quite honest, I've been lucky. For 8 years, I've been seeing Uecker almost every day, and it's just he's a special human. If you don't know him, and you don't understand what he is to our team, what he is to the organization, there's no way anybody can really explain it. It's just special beyond belief. He's an incredible human. He cares about others in a way that most megastars like him doesn't even comprehend. He's really, really special. And he does so much for so many. And, I love you. That's all there's to it. I love him, man.
Well said. Pat Murphy is the Brewers manager. Skip, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
For ticket information, I mentioned tickets on sale. Go to brewers.com/tickets. Brewers.com/tickets. It is 4:28 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green today. The S&P 500 up 29 points. The Dow up 349, and the NASDAQ closed up 47 points. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. John Mercure here for Dave Drakekamp Heating. Simply, they are the best in the business. Drakekamp has been coming to my house for more than a decade, and they've done it all. They've gotten me new equipment. They've done routine maintenance. They've ensured that my system is ready for anything. They protect the home comfort in my home. And right now, this time of year, it's super weird. I mean, it's cold, it's warm, it's snowy, it's windy, the snow melts, and then it rains. Dave Drakekamp Heating can be there to make sure that you are ready for anything during this time of year, because Drakekamp has lived here too, right by our side, ready and prepared for when anything happens. So if you're experiencing a home comfort dilemma, just get in touch with my guys at Dave Drakekamp Heating, because your comfort is their family's tradition. They're going to take it serious. The same guy's been coming to my house for all those 10 years, by the way. What does that say about the company? They are reliable. They are steady. They are the real deal. DaveDrakekamp.com. Check them out today. DaveDrakekamp.com.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure they'll get you your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
Switch to Jackson Hewitt and we'll beat what you paid last year, even if you filed online. Ain't nothing to it. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and pay less for tax prep, guaranteed. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we have represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Traffic is sponsored by Evans Transportation Services. Thank heavens for Evans. Rely on one company for accounting, shipping, and tracking. Evans Transportation Services. Family owned for 40 years and continuing to grow. Evans Transportation Services in Brookfield.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:31. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, updated ambulance policies coming soon.
I'm Debbie Lozico. We do have a crash on 41 northbound right about at Burleigh. It is off on the right shoulder, so watch out for some delays as you're making your way from about North Avenue up to that point. The southbound side's a bit backed up, too, from Silver Spring down past Burleigh. Southbound on 43, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94 backing up out of the Marquette to about Mitchell Boulevard, with the eastbound side heavy from just east of 84th Street all the way through the stadium. I'm Debbie Lozico with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight we have mostly cloudy skies, a low of 24. On Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy, and chilly, a high of 31. At 4:32, it's 35 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky says foot searches will be required anytime a patient is not immediately located. The Milwaukee Public Safety and Health Committee met today to discuss ambulance policies after Jolene Waldriff died at a bus stop in January, despite an ambulance responding to her location. Although Lipsky did not have a written draft of official protocol changes to share yet today, the committee did recommend that the full council approve the ambulance service contracts for private companies Bell Ambulance and Curtis Ambulance Service. Multimillionaire Republican businessman Eric Hovde is planning to launch a bid for U.S. Senate against Democratic incumbent Tammy Baldwin next week. Hovde previously ran for Senate in 2012, losing in the Republican primary to former Governor Tommy Thompson. Scott Meyer, Franklin businessman, and former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark are also considering Senate runs. Other high-profile Republicans, including U.S. Representatives Tom Tiffany and Mike Gallagher, have opted out of running. Residents once again calling for Milwaukee Housing Authority President Willie Hines Jr. to resign over the state of their properties. During a protest at City Hall, resident Betty Newton says she feels as if the organization does not care about them.
So how can you say you respond to residents? Silence speaks because you do not. So you can't see the residents that are standing behind me that wanted to show you how they feel and what they live with.
Residents were told there would be a face-to-face meeting with Hackham, but it has now been moved to Zoom. A new energy project could become the city of Milwaukee's largest solar power installation.
A proposal is pending with the Milwaukee Common Council that would convert a 15-acre parcel on a landfill near Milwaukee Mitchell International to a solar field. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports We Energies would pay $15,000 a year for the lease. Under a separate agreement connected to the project, the city would receive renewable energy credits that would count towards Milwaukee's goal of getting a quarter of electricity it uses for city buildings, streetlights, and the HOP from renewable resources by 2025. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Vivarium is less than a week away from opening its doors. Renovations are in the final stages, and the new music venue will open to the public on Tuesday with a free concert from Milwaukee hip-hop artist Wave Chappelle and local psychedelic pop rock band Adorner opening the show. Doors open at 7. The Vivarium is featuring local artistry from Wisconsin and everything from its bathroom furnishings and light fixtures to wood walls made of 100-year-old trees from northern Wisconsin. The Bucks are back on the court tonight in Memphis against the Grizzlies. Tip-off at 7:30, and our coverage begins at 7. Milwaukee Brewers pitchers and catchers reported to American Family Fields of Phoenix yesterday. Spring training games start on WTMJ on February 24th. And in college basketball, Saturday afternoon is busy with 4th-ranked Marquette playing 1st-place UConn and 20th-ranked Wisconsin visiting Iowa. I'm Jessica Gatso, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 4:35.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
No showings, no closing costs, no staging, no real estate agent fees, no added stress.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for senior real estate specialist Bruce and Jean Nemovitz. If you've been holding off on selling your home or downsizing your parents' home, now's the time to contact Bruce and Jean. You deserve to enjoy the lifestyle you've earned. Learn how their team will guide you every step of the way. Join me at their free in-person seminar, March 5th, Berner Botanical Gardens. Doors open at 8:30, and you'll get critical info from local senior community representatives. Register at brucesteam.com, taking you from overwhelmed to I can do this. brucesteam.com.
Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep. Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
We've told you about Moses Hadara,
the diamond cutter who created the Kessler 81.
The magical diamond that vibrates with light.
Kessler's works with crazy diamond cutters.
Geniuses who create wonderful, spectacular,
crazy diamond shapes.
The one thing these crazy genius diamonds all have in common
is that they explode with light.
The Kessler Emerald Cut diamond sends out rippling waves of light, like water lapping onto a beach.
The Kessler Square Radiant Diamond glows like the sun on the horizon.
Sometimes sunrise,
sometimes sunset.
Come to Kessler's.
Come to Kessler's.
Come to Kessler's.
Ask to see the rippling waves of light, like water on the beach.
Ask to see the glow that looks like sunrise and sunset.
Ask to see the Kessler Crazy Genius Diamonds.
See them for yourself.
See them for yourself.
See them for yourself.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Want to bring you the very latest on that shooting in Kansas City. And we want to bring in ABC crime and terrorism expert Brad Garrett, who is with us this afternoon. Brad, when you look at this from a law enforcement perspective and from the perspective of somebody who analyzes this sort of thing, what are the couple of things that jump out at you about what happened in Kansas City?
So what initially jumped out 24 plus hours ago was this didn't strike me as a textbook mass shooting. A mass shooting, obviously, are what happened in Las Vegas and in Buffalo. We can name a number of cities where a shooter goes to a target and kills as many and injures as many people as possible. This struck me as maybe two groups and probably young at getting into it. And what took me to that is if you look at the number of people shot, which is an unbelievable number, like 11 kids and a total of maybe 22 people, that it struck me as that was as a result of getting shot because you were in close proximity of people shooting at each other who probably don't even know how to shoot. They learned how to shoot watching movies. And so what you end up with is a lot of people injured. And I think that's where we are. I mean, the police and the prosecutor really haven't given us much other than was a disagreement between two groups. The question is, did it start where the shooting occurred? Did one group follow another group? Did they happen upon each other? This is almost like gangs, like beefing against each other. And they don't care where they are. They just pull out guns and start shooting. And it looks like to me it's some version of that, John.
Brad, did you hear that a woman said, "Don't do this, stop, this is stupid," something like that, and tried to get one of the shooters to stop it?
No, but that wouldn't surprise me because typically these types of shootings, there's a verbal exchange at some point. And maybe she heard what was going on and, made the decision to say something. It's a courageous thing to do if, in fact, somebody's got a gun pulled out, pointed at somebody else that could easily be pointed at you. But we don't know the circumstances as to how she had this conversation. So, but that doesn't surprise me.
ABC's Brad Garrett is with us. Brad, there's nothing good about this sort of situation, but it seems like we've become much better as a society at diffusing, at getting involved. I'm struck by the video that came almost immediately of people tackling one of the shooters, people chasing into the train station. Is this the world we live in, that we're just more hyper aware than we ever were in the past?
I think there's little doubt of that. And it also sort of reassures the rest of us, despite sort of seeing the dark side of society, that there are people, good, honest, everyday, common folk working every day that see something that's not right and they jump in. And that's clearly what happened yesterday in Kansas City. I mean, it's really, something really cool to see. And we see it occasionally in school shootings where another student or somebody connected to a would-be shooter comes forward and, talks about, this guy's saying he's going to do X. He's sent me emails that say, horrible, violent things, and they get in front of that shooter and they stop the school shooting. So we don't have enough of that, but I'm thankful we do have what we do have.
I'm going to ask you to put on your psychologist hat for a second. It seems to me that what happened was terrible, that's undeniable, but that we are doing much better as a collective group because it wasn't a targeted shooting at a celebration, that it's easier for us to understand that even though the same amount of people may have been shot if that was the case, because it was two knuckleheads or three idiots shooting at each other, it's a much different scenario today.
It is, because it's not some super troubled, and I'm not suggesting some of these kids aren't troubled, but the super troubled person that's angry at the world, wants to take revenge on the world, and goes out to a school, to a factory, to, a country western concert in Las Vegas a few years ago, and, take their vengeance out there. It's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different psychology that's going on inside the person who does those types of mass shootings versus, to use your words, knuckleheads who decide that, they've watched too many movies and this is how you handle yourself, is you pull out a gun and start shooting at people. I could go through the stupidity of shootings. I've worked in Washington, D.C. over the years, of juveniles not doing something exactly like this, but just pulling out guns because they're mad at people and getting it, across the block, start shooting at each other. It's kind of the same thing, it sounds like to me.
ABC crime and terrorism expert Brad Garrett. We're always better when you're on the show, Brad. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
It is 4:44 at WTMJ. I find myself relieved. We have a very good basketball team. They could win a championship, and we could have another big parade. And yesterday, I think everybody that we talked to in the studio was thinking in the back of their mind, my goodness, that could have happened during our great celebration in 2021, or what if that happens again? And it was sad to think for a moment that Kansas City parade might have been marred by some crazed person trying to take people out. So this is still awful, but it's a different kind of awful.
And they had prepared. They had spent $750,000 on security, and then upgraded it to $1 million, which seems like an insane amount of money. But they had done mock casualty events. They were ready with their response.
They had 800 officers there,
and it made a difference in saving lives, getting people to the hospital immediately.
You're right. 4:45 at WTMJ. Bucks Insiders with Bucks broadcaster David Kane up next.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hi there. I was trying to report a traffic accident for your traffic reporter, Debbie Lazaga.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, at thehallmazda.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Hi, Debbie. It's Michael. Eastbound 894, and there's the fender bender, and these guys are blocking the right lane.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, their mission is to transform the culture of care. These places are fantastic. I've been in their locations. It's about compassion and empathy. If you've got someone that you love who has early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, think about Azura. They care. I'm in their places, and every time I'm so impressed with how they handle the people who live there. They have a home model. It's not like a big old nursing home or apartment complex. They're living rooms. There are dining rooms. There are nice spaces. It's Azura. 14 locations in Wisconsin, 4 in the Milwaukee area, Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It is Azura. Kindness is at the core every time I deal with Azura. AzuraLiving.com.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone, Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations, brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp, and new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. With the Brewers Group Outing, you can trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field, featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and much more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event simple, as they'll be your personal concierge while booking your outing. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. Yeah, well, we got an accident basically on highway, well, actually the airport spur right about at Howell. The right lane is blocked. Actually, it's a broken down vehicle, so something to keep in mind if you're heading to the airport. We've also got an accident northbound on 41, basically slowing down from Mayfair Road all the way up to Burleigh, where this accident is blocking the right shoulder. Southbound on 41, backing up from Silver Spring down through the Capitol Drive area. And then westbound 94, watch out for delays from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low 24 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, chilly, a high of 31. Saturday, mostly sunny, still cool, a high of 30. On Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 37. On Monday, mostly sunny, a high of 40 degrees. Right now, sunny skies and 36.
For all you need to know on and off the court, it's Bucks Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Bucks Insiders is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today or visit PellaWI.com. And Best Electric. Best Electric can protect your home this winter with a whole home generator system. Connect with the best and find out more at bestelect.com. David Kane is the Bucks play-by-play announcer, one of the best in the business. Dave, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us.
John, what's good? How are you, man?
I'm great. Hey, I want to start with a question about the Giannis documentary. Not so much about the documentary itself, but this cool new documentary is coming out. He had a Disney movie. I think it's hard for us to not take for granted just how amazing his story is. You get to see it front and center every single day. What's it like to think about Giannis and Thanasis and the other brothers' story?
Yeah, it is kind of wild when you're sitting on a bus with those guys and you look over, everybody sees you, and every time it's just at the hotel right now, one of the first buses left, and Giannis is on, and you can hear kids screaming. My window is overlooking where the guys come and go. And you see this superstar who's, everywhere he goes, everybody knows his name and knows who he is and screaming for his attention. But then you kind of think about that backstory, and I don't know, it's one of those things when you meet. It's almost like when you meet somebody you've seen in the movies forever, and then you just see they're just a human being, and then all the things that they've seen through their eyes, it's pretty cool. And obviously, it's a pretty unique path, and so to get to know those guys just a little bit is a cool part of the job for sure. So I'll be like you, I'll be looking forward to watching it.
The director told us that she didn't think he would have come to the United States if his whole family couldn't have come with him. Has he ever talked about that with you?
No, I've never talked to him specifically about it, but I believe it 100%. I mean, it's as close-knit a family as you're ever going to see. I mean, that group, those two brothers, you hear some guys talking, and then all of a sudden you hear this conversation going on in Greek, and they're inseparable. I mean, it's just, they are very, I don't want to say insular, but yeah, to some degree insular. I mean, like, that family is everything. And I don't for a second that Giannis wouldn't be in this country if they weren't able to get his family here, because that's his greatest currency in his life, all the money and all the fame that goes with it. And he loves basketball, but I know he loves that family more than anything else.
Characterize what it's like to be around Giannis when he's on the bus or he's on the plane or he's hanging out at practice and the rest of us aren't around. Is he playful?
It just depends. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm like best buddies with Giannis, because there are so many people. I think one people don't understand is once you reach a certain level of fame and notoriety, everybody wants a piece of you. So I'm always very mindful of not trying to be yet another person who's trying to get to Giannis. I think in many ways my job is to describe what these guys are doing as a play-by-play voice. It's not to be their best friend. You love the relationships when they spawn kind of naturally, but certain people you can just tell are more receptive to it, and other people, they are insular. So it's not as though you have this tight connection with these guys. But yeah, he can be very playful, absolutely, and then he can be very businesslike, and you see it all. But in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm kind of a fly on the wall. It comes down to that operation, just having a chance to kind of ride their coattails and go with them, and then be privileged enough to try to describe their story to the best I can on a night in, night out basis. But yeah, I think that's one of the things that is so fascinating. He is one of the most fascinating personalities to me because he does have that playful side, but boy, does he have a ferocious business-like side to him as well, where it's like he is locked. He doesn't do interviews pre-game. He's not after a shoot-around. I mean, he is locked in. That is his time, and I think it's pretty much known across the media that if you want to get Giannis, you're not going to do it the day of a game, even if it's 7 to 8, 9 hours in advance. He's locked in at that point. But yeah, then he'll show his playful side off in the bus sometimes, and you get to see that a little bit. But he is still just a big kid, but he's also becoming a grown-up as he's become a father, and he's becoming a grown man, and he is that.
Dave Kane with us on WTMJ. So I think Bucks fans understood that West Coast trip that was a while back was going to be a very difficult trip. There's still been some bumps in the road, and I don't think it's surprising. Doc Rivers is still new to the job. This is a very talented Bucks team. Should there be any cause for concern with what you've seen on the court in the last week or so?
No, I don't think there's – I mean, look, everybody's concerned. I mean, let's put it this way. No cause for panic by any stretch, but I think every team at this point has got some level of concern because nobody's perfect, and I think the Bucks certainly know that they have some issues they've got to resolve. And And I think that's the reason you see Doc Rivers on the bench is the coach for the Bucks right now, because they got to figure out some of these things that they can do better. Notably, it starts with defense. But I'll tell you, there is such a thing as the eye test. And with exception to that game against Miami, I thought that was a little bit of a surprising game. We've seen Miami do it before. And it was also night 2 of a back-to-back for Milwaukee, which always you have to factor into these things. But I thought even when they were losing, you could see the strides that this team was making, and especially on that defensive side of things, that it just looks different. And I think Doc Rivers brings this ability to relate to players. I'd always heard it, that he has this ability to manage superstars, but he does have this level of calm and charisma that I think he brings. He's incredibly relatable, not only to the media, which he was a part of. I mean, he was one of the lead guys on the ABC crew, so he understands the media component, but he really understands the player piece too, having played the game, but also just having an ability to convey his messages in a way that is disarming. And I think he's had a really steadying presence. I'm really fascinated to see what this thing looks like once he gets some time to be able to implement his system. I think this week off, well, he doesn't get the full week off because he's going to be coaching as well at the All-Star game, but they'll have more time to dig into this thing. And I think in the second part of this, right after the All-Star break, you're going to start to see this team show even more strides. But at least that's my hope and expectation going in.
Dave Kane, the very talented play-by-play guy for the Milwaukee Bucks. Have a great call tonight, Dave.
All right, guys, we'll do my best. And then it's off to the rare week off. So we'll catch.
What are you doing?
That. I am actually going to be in Virginia and back
nice.
to where I came from in Charlottesville. So I'm going to try to be doing a lot of mountain biking there, see some old friends and that kind of thing.
Oh, that sounds good. Hope you have time to recharge a little bit, Dave. Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bucks coverage tonight on WTMJ begins at 7 o'clock.
Hey 620 WTMJ fans, Gary Ellison here for my friends at Best Electric Services. They're family owned and operated and have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's completing a residential or commercial project or even installing electrical vehicle charging. Best Electric provides quality service at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Services. Find out what they can do for you and visit bestelect.com today.
Hey, Wayne, shopping for a new door? Do you need something more dependable?
Yes, something that's durable, dent-resistant, knows how to take a hit, and is going to last for years.
We're still talking about the door, right?
Oh, yeah, right, of course.
Wayne Larrabee and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella? What next? How about 0% interest for up to 60 months when you place your order by February 23rd at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 2/23/2024.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
ODW Logistics closes its facility in Waukesha and eliminates 107 jobs starting in April. The Ohio-based firm says the closing results from losing a major customer. Rogan's Shoes, with 28 locations and several in the metro area, is sold. The Wisconsin chain's new owner, the fast-growing Shoe Carnival of Indiana. The popular Cafe Benelux in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward temporarily closes for extensive renovations. The restaurant on Broadway plans to reopen in early April. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Restrictions apply. A better bath awaits.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
For over 75 years, Runnings stores have earned the reputation for quality brands, fair value, and hometown-friendly service. Now Runnings is bringing those same values to you. Runnings is now open in your community. Find the widest variety of everything you and your family need for your home, on the farm, and in the outdoors. Runnings is proud to live, work, and serve in local communities across the Midwest, the Northeast, and America's heartland. Runnings is your new home, farm, and outdoor store. We look forward to seeing you soon. Learn more about us at runnings.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
You just can't pass on Less is Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Lillard thought about the three. Now good bounce pass inside to Giannis, who ramps it home with a two-hand
dunk. The Bucks are in Memphis against the Grizzlies with our coverage starting tonight at 7 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, a multimillionaire businessman returning to Wisconsin politics.
I'm Amy Taylor. Winter remains, but spring training begins today.
I'm Debbie Laziga, and we do have an issue. It is an accident basically at the airport spur, westbound. So if you're trying to leave the airport, you might see a little bit of a backup because the right lane is blocked, so careful with that. Also an accident on 41 heading northbound, right about at Burleigh. It's been there for a while. It's off on the right shoulder, and it is affecting your ride. You are seeing delays from about North Avenue up to that point. Southbound sides backing up from just south of Appleton Avenue down through the Capitol Drive interchange. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 24 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, chilly, a high of 31 degrees. It's currently 36. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Republican businessman Eric Hovde is planning to launch a bid for the U.S. Senate against incumbent Tammy Baldwin next week.
Outside of a few political ads, Hovde has stayed largely out of the public eye since his previous run for Senate in 2012.
So many of the problems that we've experienced over the last, 11, 12 years have been these boom and bust cycles.
That race ended for Hovde in the Republican primary, losing to former Governor Tommy Thompson.
Sadly, it didn't work out the way it was planned to.
This fall, Franklin businessman Scott Meyer and former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark are also considering Senate runs. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky says foot searches will be required anytime a patient is not immediately located. The Milwaukee Public Safety and Health Committee met today to discuss ambulance policies after Waldrop died at a bus stop in January despite an ambulance responding to her location. Although Lipsky did not have a written draft of official protocol changes to share yet today, the committee did recommend that the full council approve the ambulance service contracts for private companies Bell Ambulance and Curtis Ambulance Service.
The White House is trying to ease fears of the possibility that Russia is developing a weapon to destroy satellites orbiting Earth. ABC's Andy Field.
House Republican Intel Committee Chairman Mike Turner calling it a national security threat, but the White House says a Russian plan to put weapons in space is not yet a reality.
And though Russia's pursuit of this particular capability is troubling, there is no immediate threat to anyone's safety.
National Security spokesman John Kirby working with members of Congress to see what, if anything, the U.S. can do to stop Russia from installing satellite-destroying weapons in space. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
Assembly Speaker Robin Voss saying today a proposal that would implement state-run medical marijuana dispensaries appears to be dead in this legislative session. Voss says there are differing positions amongst Republican caucuses about how the program would be run. Voss had said in January he would not amend the proposal despite Republican concerns.
We have a very detailed bill that I am pretty sure has 50 votes in our caucus to pass. So taking and renegotiating the bill means we probably lose votes in our caucus.
A Marquette law poll in 2019 showed 83% of Wisconsin voters approved of medical marijuana use.
As the Brewers pitchers and catchers report to spring training today, plans are already in motion to the market up-and-coming Jackson Churio. President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
This is one of those things you have to do in our market and our game with, without a salary cap and with the challenges of trying to keep your best players. You got to make decisions to invest in them early. And he made a decision, too, to invest in us.
Schlesinger also says work on the new 12,000 square foot scoreboard at American Family Field is progressing ahead of schedule.
The Wisconsin corporate headquarters for American Girl will be closing this year. WISC-TV in Madison reports around 30 employees will be impacted by the closure as the facility spreads its closure out between February and September of this year. Some corporate functions for the company will continue to be operated remotely. American Girl has been owned by Mattel since 1998.
The Bucks are back on the court tonight in Memphis against the Grizzlies. Tip-off 7:30. Our coverage on WTMJ begins at 7. And in college basketball, Saturday is going to be busy. 4th-ranked Marquette playing first-place UConn. 20th-ranked Wisconsin visits Iowa.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
Stop in at Fleet Farm for one of the biggest selections of Milwaukee tools around. Milwaukee's raised the bar on heavy-duty performance, and we've got over 1,100 Milwaukee tools and accessories to help you crush that to-do list. Like the M18 cordless 2-tool combo kit. 400 pounds of torque packed into just 4 pounds of compact drill driver plus 2 batteries. Shop all the top brands we carry to help you power through everyday life at Fleet Farm.
Looking forward to a new, easier lifestyle, like getting back your time and doing what's important to you? If you live in a brand new Cornerstone Development condominium, you start creating the lifestyle you deserve. Buy a brand new condominium or standalone home from Cornerstone Development in Grafton, Muskego, Waukesha, Pewaukee, Menominee Falls, or River Hills. Choose to relax, exercise at the community clubhouse and pool, or just enjoy your new freedom. All homes are built with your personal selection of finishes. Get started today at cornerstonedevelopment.com.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry,
Replace! Replace!
but the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenex are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Glad that you're with us. An interesting article in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, and it's kind of sobering in some ways. It's a report on the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Census of Agriculture, it's called. The census is taken every 5 years, and it counts the number of farms and ranches across the country and how they're doing. Any farm that sold $1,000 or more of its goods in a year counts. So if you have a little hobby farm with 2 goats, and that's not counted. But if you sell $1,000 or more of stuff, you're counted as a farm in the census. So in this latest census, Wisconsin had 58,521 farms. That sounds like a lot, right? 58,000.
It does sounds like a stunning amount.
That's a 10% loss since the last survey. Number of farms down 10 whole percent. There were 6,200 dairy farms, and that's down from 9,000 in 2017. So that's like a 30% loss.
Well, it feels like they're getting gobbled up by developments, becoming housing developments. But I know some of them are actually getting bigger. Some of the farms are getting bigger, and you have fewer farmers and older farmers.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, some of the numbers bear that out. And to your point, though, as the number of farms decrease, existing ones are getting bigger because they're buying each other. And these big factory-type farms are buying them out. Herd sizes are getting larger as well because you sell your dairy farm, you probably sell it to somebody who already runs one, so that guy then has a bigger herd. 99% of Wisconsin farmers are white.
That's interesting. I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Not a surprise.
Yeah. I think, our rural communities, depending on farmers, on our farmers depending on their rural communities, this relationship is something that policymakers need to try to look at and say, is this where we want Wisconsin to be in terms of our economy? It's a big part of the economy. Agriculture in Wisconsin is like a $16 billion business.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
So, we talk about how farms are getting gobbled up. There were also 28,000 new farmers. So I found that interesting. 28,000 new farmers. That is a 16% increase from the last one. So retiring farmers who own smaller operations are selling, sometimes to big operations. But then there are folks that are getting into farming.
So some youth coming into the business.
Yeah, which is good.
But did you know, I did not know this, but did you know, John, that Wisconsin ranks first in the nation for ginseng production?
I did not know that.
And second in the nation for beet production.
Beets?
Yeah.
I did not know that
I had no
either.
idea. But they're saying this diversity is really important in order to keep the agriculture economy healthy in Wisconsin.
I think is ginseng mostly north central Wisconsin, kind of like where they grow cranberries. Is it the same area of the state?
Is that what you? I don't
think
know.
So.
I don't know.
I just didn't know it was that big a deal.
Yeah, it's. I mean, does it goes in tea, right?
Yeah, does it go in tea and holistic medicine?
Yeah,
right. Is that primarily what it goes in?
I don't know. I didn't know that there was a big market for it here, but apparently that's what we're doing.
So the average cost to farmers for things like fertilizer and equipment is up 47% in the last census. And they say that's why a lot are selling. Because if you're the small guy and your costs are up 47%,
you can't make it.
You can't make it. You got to sell to somebody who can buy in volume, who maybe has operations in other states that can leverage that. That's a huge number.
Well, I hope that our legislators are listening to this and help protect farmers.
Yeah. Hey, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, I've got something for you. I'm going to be at the NARI Milwaukee Spring Home Improvement Show. It's going to be a blast. The show runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be there on Saturday from noon to 3. I'm going to be there with Floor Coverings International. Floor Coverings International did the flooring in my house, and they're fantastic. They're the guys, they come out to your house with everything in a red van, and they can't believe how many samples they have in there. They come out, and they walked it in, and Michelle looked at everything. We laid it out next to our cabinets in our paint job, and then we picked out stuff. So Floor Coverings International will be there. They are the best if you're looking to get inspired when it comes to floor design. And they're going to be there all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's at the Wisconsin State Fair Park in the Expo Center. I'm going to be there on Saturday from noon to 3. Come on by, say hello. I'd love to see you. Tickets are $8. Buy them ahead of time because it's a couple bucks more at the door. Buy them at NARI, N-A-R-I, NARIMilwaukee.org. You can buy your tickets. It's fun. I love these shows because I love just walking around. And, ooh, that would be cool for our patio. That would be fun.
It makes you want to spend money, doesn't it?
It does for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a chilly weekend. Come on out and check out the NARI Milwaukee Spring Home Improvement Show. It's 5:14 at WTMJ. Charles Benson, TMJ4 Chief Political Reporter, up next.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:15 for Matzik's Morning Minute during Wisconsin's Morning News. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds. Picked up by Lillard, lobs to Giannis, who thumps it down on the alley-oop. Every Monday and Friday at 8:15 during Wisconsin's Morning News.
Coaching in the arena and your jerseys hanging above you, I can turn to the players and say, guys, I swear to God, I play basketball. Just look up.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Hey, if you're sick and tired of those achy joints and dread the idea of surgery, it is time to call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. The state of healthcare is always evolving. The old ideas like steroids and surgery are no longer your only options. Try regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. It's transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, and drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Talking about knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain from arthritis or injury. Don't let the pain keep you from living your best life. Call QC Kinetics. Their advanced and state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. It's a revolutionary approach that will help you achieve long-term relief with no downtime. So make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility, your independence. Get out, walk, run, and play and live without the danger and trauma of surgery and without harmful drugs. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
If you have $750,000 or more in retirement assets, you're close to being able to retire well. You've worked a lifetime to get there, and now with retirement in sight, every move matters. At Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists, we're just as serious about your retirement as you are. We are committed to helping people like you in the Milwaukee and Madison areas retire well. I'm Jeff Kowal, and over 30 years ago, we made the decision to help individuals plan for the retirement of their dreams. We operate under a fiduciary standard of care, putting our clients first to recommend personalized retirement plans. At Kowal Investment Group, your goals are our goals, and you always come first. That's the Kowal way. Call Kowal Investment Group at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to get started today.
Jeff Kowal is a financial advisor offering securities through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc. Member FINRA, SIPC, and investment advisory services through RJFS Advisors, Inc. Kowal Investment Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com.
Debbie Lazaga, then Charles Benson. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. We got a couple of issues right now. Eastbound 94, we've got an accident at the Zoo interchange blocking the right lane. And then a little bit further on at Mitchell Boulevard, the center lane is blocked with an accident. Pretty hefty delays for that one from 84th Street all the way to the accident scene. The westbound side looks like everybody's just slowing down to take a peekaboo. So we've got backups coming out of the Marquette solid all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. We've got southbound on 41 slowing down from just before Hampton Avenue all the way down to Burleigh. There is a broken down vehicle on the northbound side. Looks like it is an accident off on the right shoulder on the northbound side, so backups heading up from North Avenue to that scene as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 24 degrees. Tomorrow, breezy, chilly, a high of 31. On Saturday, sunny, breezy, a high of 30. Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 37. And on Monday, mostly sunny, a high of 40 degrees. In Milwaukee right now, sunny skies and 35. TMJ4 Chief Political Reporter Charles Benson is with us. Charles, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John.
Hey, I've been waiting to talk to you to sort through some of this map situation, the legislative maps, and it's fascinating. I'm going to start at the most current development, which is we have not yet heard from the governor, but correct. Republicans passed maps that were the boundaries that he wanted. Where do we stand today, Charles, with whether or not these will become law?
Well, on the brink of history here with a historic decision on getting some new legislative maps after this epic battle over gerrymandering or the maps being unfair or their maps not being constitutional. I mean, John, I've covered Wisconsin politics for nearly 40 years, and I've seen some extraordinary days at the state capitol, and this week there was another one. Just think about it. How many conversations you and I have had about the legislative maps and all the talk about whether they're fair and why, Republicans have such a big majority and, are they partisan? Are they gerrymandered? Look at all the topics or times you've talked about it. Lawmakers have talked about it. It goes before the state Supreme Court. We've even seen these maps battled out in the U.S. Supreme Court. Yet, on Tuesday, it all came down to this quick, fairly quiet and quick moment where Republicans said, okay. Republicans saying, okay, Governor, Democratic governor, we'll take your maps. The maps that you put in front of the state Supreme Court as the ones that they think he believes should be the maps for the general election here coming up in 2024. And then have hardly any floor fight on this. There was some in the Senate, but none in the Assembly. The only person who spoke was the Assembly Speaker, Robin Vos, who pretty much said to the Democrats, you won. Congratulations. I mean, those are not words you often hear from the longest serving speaker in the state assembly history. It was an extraordinary day. And then on top of that, you only had one Democrat in the assembly and one Democrat in the Senate to agree with the maps that the governor is proposing. I mean, you just had to step back from this moment and say, wow, look at what happened here.
So, Charles, this was a huge wow and a big win for Governor Evers. But let's look at why. Why did the Republicans approve these maps? What was their strategy?
So I think part of the strategy, at least the one laid out by Speaker Vos, is that I think they believe that given what is in front of the state Supreme Court, which is now a liberal-leaning court with other options of other maps, that these maps by the governor look the best to Republicans in terms of a competitive election for them and a chance to still maybe hold on to the majority. I think Democrats looked at it and said, you know what? We might actually get better maps out of the state Supreme Court, so let's hold back. The other key part of this is the general distrust between Democrats and Republicans. There were people in the assembly, lawmakers, who just still, and even on the floor, I mean, Chris Larson, the senator, saying, I don't trust you guys on this. I'm voting no. There wasn't any trust that this really was the end game. They still think there is another chess move here, legal chess move here by the Republicans to somehow, even after they pass these maps, that there will be a legal challenge to them. So they didn't see it, they being Democrats, as the end game here. And we still don't know if it is, because keep in mind, Governor Evers did say he would pass or sign into law his maps if they were passed without any changes. Now, the lines and the districts that he all drew, there are no changes. But there was one little thing that came into play here, and that is they're saying that the new maps do not go into place until the general election. We got a primary in August and then the general election in November. But the thought is, what happens between now and then if there's a recall, if there's a special election? Well, they threw in that those elections would happen under the old maps, which technically are now unconstitutional based on the Supreme Court. So that was the little bit at the end there that Democrats also didn't like.
TMJ Force Charles Benson is with us. Charles, I wanted to ask you about Mike Gallagher. We've had the congressman on the show many, many times. He surprised people by announcing that he would not run for re-election. Many people think he's a rising star. He has not spoken about this, and he's not gone into any detail. What do you know about Mike Gallagher's decision to leave the U.S. Congress?
Well, actually, he did issue that statement, and
right.
he believes that that somehow he had come to this realization that was the time to leave Congress, but it was a surprise. I mean, it comes here in February, so whoever now runs for that seat will really have to ramp up pretty quickly. So I think the surprise here was the timing because, remember, John, we talked about it last year. There was a lot of thought that he should people were hoping he would run for the U.S. Senate, thought he would be a great candidate. And at one point last year, he said, nope, not going to run for the U.S. Senate seat because I'm going to stay focused on my congressional district and seek re-election. Now, all of this comes after he was one of just 3 House Republicans to vote no to impeach Homeland Security Mayorkas. And he got a lot of blowback on that. He got a lot of pushback on that issue. And so people are looking at the timing of saying no to impeachment to him saying, no, I'm not going to seek re-election. He claims he's not tying the two together there, but that's where we are when we look at the timing of his decision. The question now is, what is next? You mentioned he is a rising star, and I think a lot of people in the Republican Party see that. So I'm wondering what is next for him. Certainly has a lot of talent and experience that will find a great opportunity. But what would bring him back into politics? When is that moment? And would he ever come back knowing just how rough the road can always be in day-to-day politics, whether it's in Washington or back here in the state of Wisconsin?
Well, Charles, it seems just quickly that he was voting his conscience. Being one of 3, he's not going with the majority, and that is a crisis also of maybe confidence in would I get the support I need in this ultra-right coalition.
Yeah, sure. It's certainly a maverick move, but in this day and age where you need to be lockstep with the party, all fall in line. If everybody is for impeaching in your party, then everybody needs to fall in line. I think he's always had a sense of some independence. And by the way, on the impeachment vote, he's saying he's the only one who's consistent. He didn't think it was right to impeach President back around the January 6th event. And he doesn't think he didn't think it was the right solution. Not that he supports the Homeland Security or the Biden administration and what they're doing around border security. In fact, he feels just the opposite. He just didn't think that this country needs to get into some perpetual motion about let's impeach every time we don't like someone or want to do something.
Charles Benson is anchor and chief political reporter at TMJ4. Thank you, Charles. Always appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It is 5:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P 500 up 29 points today. The Dow closed up 349. NASDAQ up 47 points on the day. And the Russell 2000, it was up 49 points. Annex Wealth Management. Get ready for 2024 with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Family owned and operated. Yep, we sure are. Since 1970. And I know you've probably heard it a million times. But the words family owned and operated hold a lot of water. They mean you can count on dealing with an expert. Because when your dad runs the show, he teaches you all that he knows. They mean prompt service. Because it's not just our job, it's a big part of our life. They mean you're actually working with someone who has accountability and a real interest in your satisfaction and their business's overall success. So when you hear businesses say the words family-owned and operated, give them a try, because small business owners like us really do have your best interest in mind. And when you need advice from southeastern Wisconsin's foremost glass experts, call me. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through the end of February, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has donated over $820,000, providing more than 2.4 million meals to people across southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Trained Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive professional servers and bartenders. You'll make great cash. Inquire today. Start next week. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, a competitor entering Wisconsin's Senate race.
I'm Debbie Laziga. That earlier accident that we had in the zoo interchange on 94, that actually has been cleared out of the way. We just have some delays from the county line, or actually from the zoo to the county line on westbound 94. The eastbound side, different story. We do have an accident at Mitchell Boulevard in the stadium interchange, and that's blocking the right lane now. Delays basically from the zoo all the way to that point. Now, westbound side of 94, everybody has to slow down to take a look. So we got Gapers delays all the way back to the Marquette to up to Mitchell Boulevard. Other than that, for the most part, we're looking okay, maybe a little tight out of the Mitchell interchange to Loomis on 894 westbound. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Painting Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight we have mostly cloudy skies, a low of 24. On Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy, a high of 31. At 5:31, it's 34 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, multimillionaire Republican businessman Eric Hovde is planning to launch a bid for U.S. Senate against Democratic incumbent Tammy Baldwin. Hovde previously ran for Senate in 2012, losing in the Republican primary to former Governor Tommy Thompson. Scott Meyer, a Franklin businessman, and former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark are also considering Senate runs. Other high-profile Republicans, including U.S. Representatives Tom Tiffany and Mike Gallagher, have opted against running. A new energy project could become the city of Milwaukee's largest solar power installation.
A proposal is pending with the Milwaukee Common Council that would convert a 15-acre parcel on a landfill near Milwaukee Mitchell International to a solar field. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports We Energies would pay $15,000 a year for the lease. Under a separate agreement connected to the project, the city would receive renewable energy credits that would count towards Milwaukee's goal of getting a quarter of electricity it uses for city buildings, streetlights, and the HOP from renewable resources by 2025. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Vivarium is less than a week away from opening its doors. Renovations are in the final stages, and the new music venue will open to the public on Tuesday with a free concert from Milwaukee hip-hop artist Wave Chappelle and local psychedelic pop rock band Adorner as the opener. Doors open at 7. Brewers pitchers and catchers report to Arizona today, all eyes on the future of the team, including up-and-coming infielder Jackson Chourio. Brewers president of business operations Rick Schlesinger tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
We're already selling, Chourio jerseys, player tees. That was obviously something we took advantage of right away. Believe me, we are preparing for videos and other things when Tim and the other players come up.
The team's first full squad workout is next Tuesday. Spring training games start February 24th. The feature-length documentary on Buck star Giannis Antetokounmpo premieres next week.
Giannis
Antetokounmpo from Athens, Greece.
Giannis, The Marvelous Journey takes fans back to Athens for Giannis' childhood and all the way through his championship season.
I mean, we sat Giannis down for 6 hours total.
Producer and director of the film, Kristen Lapis, on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You have subjects like the Antetokounmpo family that have really never told their story through their own words. They had a lot to say.
The film premieres on Prime Video and select screenings in theaters Monday.
I'm just a hard worker that's trying to survive.
Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
The Bucks are back on the court tonight in Memphis against the Grizzlies. Tip-off at 7:30, and our coverage on WTMJ begins at 7. Milwaukee Brewers pitchers and catchers report to American Family Fields of Phoenix yesterday. Spring training games start right here on WTMJ on February 24th. In college basketball, Saturday afternoon is busy with 4th-ranked Marquette playing first-place UConn and 20th-ranked Wisconsin visiting Iowa. I'm Jessica Gatso, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 5:34.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature brought to you by the Freighter to the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to reduce your risk. Here to talk about heart and vascular conditions and treatment options is Dr. Stefano Skena, a cardiothoracic surgeon from the nationally recognized Freighterton MCW Heart Team. Thank you so much for being with us, Doctor.
Thank you for inviting me.
What are common risk factors for heart disease?
Risk factors include a strong family history of cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, lack of exercise, poor diet, history of smoking and or heavy alcohol consumption, and advanced age.
What are the treatment options that your team offers?
We offer any type of option from advanced or complex diagnosis to medical management, ongoing follow-up with monitoring, and most importantly for our specialty, surgical intervention.
All right, so let's get detail on that. What type of surgical interventions does your team provide?
Although traditional heart surgery still has its place, and that include the historically most common surgical procedures such as coronary artery bypass, aortic valve replacement or repair, we cover all aspects of this from standard to minimal invasive treatment and more advanced and technological options such as robotic, thoracic and cardiac surgery. Our goal remains that to offer a treatment that is tailored to the patient specific risk factors and pathology, but always aiming at the least invasive option possible. So this includes minimal invasive approach and the robotic options which favor prompt recovery and return to regular daily life activities.
Dr. Stefano Skena, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Find a doctor who's right for you by visiting freighter.com/heart.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
Hey, let's check that weather. Meteorologist Brendan Johnson is with us from the Weather Center. Hey, Brendan, how you doing?
Hey, John, I'm doing all right. Holding down the fort here while Niz is up at Lake Winnebago for sturgeon fishing.
Oh, interesting. Hey, how'd we do compared to how we thought we were going to do with the amount of snow and stuff we got? It seems like you guys pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, you know what? The forecast panned out really well. Many areas up towards West Bend were the ones that really picked up the vast majority of the snow. We did have a 4.4-inch report out of West Bend. And the thing with this snow is, I guess you could call it concrete with how wet and heavy it was. This was the true heart attack snow. We did pick up a little more than 1.5 inches in Milwaukee. So it fell exactly where we were expecting it to fall.
I had to do stuff early this morning, so I didn't get it shoveled or snowblowed, and I've decided I'm not.
Why don't you quit?
I am. I'm out. I'm just leaving it. It's gonna start to melt early next week.
Can't you get people for that, John?
I can. Are you offering?
No. I don't want to do it either.
When will it start to melt, Brendan? Like, what are we? The next couple of days are going to be chilly, right?
Sure. Yeah. So the next couple of days are going to be pretty chilly. John, I tell you, a lot of this snow already started melting shortly after it fell.
Yes.
A lot of the roads were quickly improved by the morning commute. And then, I know a lot of folks, probably still had to do some cleaning up, far north where a lot of that snow fell. But the sunshine today, coupled with those temperatures above freezing, certainly helped. And then that dry northwest wind, it was breezy, helped to kind of dry things out. So we'll look for some melting each afternoon with the sunshine, but we're already seeing signs next week after this brief return of winter early this weekend. We'll be right back in the 40s, middle of next week. We're seeing some signals we could be flirting yet again with 50 degrees.
It's crazy.
It's bizarre. And are we like 10 degrees off our normal or something like that?
Yeah, we're running first 14 days here in February. Every single day has been an above average high temperature. We're running almost 13 degrees above average for the start of February. We came off the 20th warmest January on record in Milwaukee, the warmest December on record in Milwaukee. So it's been an unusually warm winter, and it only looks like end of the month here is looking like we're going to have more of the same.
All right, if you could please lead us through the next 5 days, maybe beginning tonight, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So for tonight, we'll look for a mostly cloudy sky. Clouds will build in ahead of this snow system that tracks just down to our south. Lows falling back into the low and mid-20s, so look for that northwest wind to stay with us anywhere between 10 to 15. We'll hold on to the clouds for tomorrow. Breezy, chilly, highs close to or just below the freezing mark. And then as we head overnight into Saturday, those wind chills could be near zero first thing during the day. We'll build in some more sunshine to start the weekend. Highs near 30 degrees, getting warmer by Sunday with more sunshine with upper 30s. And we'll look for a mostly sunny sky by Monday with a high of 40.
All right, the warm temps come back. Meteorologist Brendan Johnson, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
And even with this last system, still almost nothing for the Northwoods. Those poor folks up there that rely on snowmobiling and all that good stuff are just really, really hurting.
It's so odd to walk out at night. And, I love to be out at night in the cold. And you step out and it's like
I know.
spring. It's so bizarre.
I take the dogs out and it's just doesn't feel like winter.
Doesn't feel normal.
Yeah,
I feel like my
40s
rhythms
at night.
are off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. But the sun at least has been nice. That makes everything a little bit better.
Makes
for sure.
it much better.
It's 5:41 at WTMJ. Speaking of spring, how about spring training baseball? Milwaukee Brewers manager Pat Murphy up next.
Hey, Wayne, shopping for a new door? Do you need something more dependable?
Yes, something that's durable, dent-resistant, knows how to take a hit, and is going to last for years.
We're still talking about the door, right?
Oh, yeah, right, of course.
Wayne Larrabee and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella? What next? How about 0% interest for up to 60 months when you place your order by February 23rd at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 2/23/2024.
Hey, if you're unable to celebrate Valentine's Day on Wednesday, celebrate it this weekend at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club with a free dinner. John Mercure here. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is absolutely free. Order anything on the menu, like a brandied New York strip steak, the pan-fried walleye, grilled salmon, even the steak and lobster, and your second dinner is always free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. Sip on a hand-muddled old-fashioned, a Manhattan, 20 bourbons, 100 fine wines to accent your dinner. It's the famous Fox and Hounds. You'll dine in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms with a crackling fireplace. The Fox and Hounds in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest. It is spectacular, a Wisconsin must-see. I love this place. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east and in the shadows of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. Celebrate Valentine's Day tonight with your love and a free dinner. I love to check out the Fox and Hounds, especially this time of year. The fireplaces are nice and cozy. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. If you have at least $750,000 or more in investable assets, we can help you transition into the retirement you've worked so hard to achieve. Our 1-hour retirement planning consultation will help you walk away with the answers to your most critical retirement questions. If you're close to or already retired, give our office a call today at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your complimentary no-obligation retirement review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Sharks. Most people see them as a threat, but we see a potential cure. At UW Health Carbone Cancer Center, we're the only team in the world researching whether antibodies from sharks can be used to fight cancer. A discovery that would revolutionize the future of cancer care, turning possibilities into remarkable realities. So one day, instead of what if, we can ask, what's next? UW Health Carbone Cancer Center. Remarkable.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather. Hey, Debbie.
Hey there. Eastbound on 94, right about at Mitchell Boulevard. We got the left lane blocked with this crash, and that's backing things up all the way back to the Zoo interchange. Of course, everybody on the other side has to take a quick peek, so that's why we got the big delays. That and volume, of course, leaving the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. The other spot of heaviness is going to be on 894 westbound coming out of the Mitchell interchange through Loomis. That's that construction zone. And then on the eastbound side, on and off the brakes, basically from the Hale interchange all the way to Loomis. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Spring training is underway in Arizona. The crew, some of them are on the ground there. Man, the excitement is building here in Milwaukee, too. It's so good to be talking baseball. Pat Murphy is the Brewers manager, and he is with us on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline. Hey, Pat, thanks for being here.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
How does it feel to be the man? I mean, you're in the big chair. This is your debut this year. How are you feeling?